Have you ever turned around and realised your horse was right behind you, and you never asked them to be? No lead rope, no treat in your hand, no reason you gave them. They just followed. Most people smile and keep walking. They assume it means the horse is bored, or hoping for food, or just being herd-bound. But that quiet decision your horse made to close the distance between you when nothing required them to is one of the most loaded social signals in the entire equine world. And if you walk past it without understanding it, which most owners do, you are missing one of the clearest things your horse will ever say about how they see you. Let's talk about what following actually means. 1. It's not about food. It's about who they choose to be near most owners. When their horse follows them, land on the same explanation. The horse is hoping for a treat. And yes, horses associate people with food. That part is real. But here's where most people stop thinking. And here's where the actual answer starts. Here's what's actually happening. In equine social structure, voluntary proximity is one of the most meaningful decisions a horse makes every single day. Horses are deeply selective about which animals they stand near, walk behind, and choose to follow. Following is not neutral. It is a declaration. It says, I trust you enough to close the distance. I feel safer moving toward you than staying where I am. When your horse follows you across an open field with no pressure, no lead, no grain, they are making that declaration about you specifically. Think about that for a second. They had the entire field, every direction was available. They chose yours. And by the way, if your horse ever rests their head against your shoulder or stands quietly with their nose to your chest without being asked, don't walk past that either. We'll get to what that really means at the end, and it's something most riders wish they had understood much sooner. 2. What attachment research actually found. For a long time, the standard belief was simple. Horses follow whoever controls resources, food, shelter, safety, follow the provider. Then researchers looked more carefully. A 2020 study from the University of Pisa observed horses with both familiar handlers and strangers in low stress and high stress situations. What they found disrupted the old assumption entirely. Under stress, horses did not gravitate toward whoever fed them most recently. They actively sought out their primary human handler and showed measurably lower heart rates and reduced cortisol levels in that person's presence, even when no food or training was involved. What that means in plain terms, your horse does not follow you because you feed them. They follow you because being near you changes how they feel inside their own body. You are not just a provider to them, you are a regulator. You are the presence that makes the world feel quieter. Here's what most people don't realise. That is not something you can train directly. That is a bond that built itself through time, through consistency, through you showing up. 3. Following is how horses claim you as their herd. Here's where it gets even more powerful. In a wild herd, the horses you travel with and follow across open ground are your herd. Not because someone assigned you to a group, because you chose to move together. Shared movement is shared identity. It is how horses define belonging. When your horse follows you, they are doing something ancient. They are placing you inside their concept of herd. They are saying with their feet, with their body, with their choice, you are not a visitor in their world. You are one of the animals they move with. You belong to their group. What makes this even more meaningful is that horses extend this to very few humans. The horse that follows their owner through a gate is often the same horse that walks away from every other person on the property. The following is not generosity toward all people. It is precise. It is directed. It is yours. Now, before we keep going, if this is changing how you see your horse, hit like and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more horse owners who want to understand what their horse is really saying. 4. The ancient root. Survival through togetherness. To understand why following carries this much emotional weight, you have to go back to what following meant before stables existed. In the wild, a horse separated from the herd did not just feel alone. They became immediately vulnerable. Predators target isolated horses. Safety, rest, and survival all depended on maintaining proximity to the group. The horses that survived were the ones who followed, who stayed close, who chose togetherness when the stakes were highest. That instinct does not disappear in a domestic horse. It lives in them exactly as it always has. And when your horse transfers that following behavior onto you, a different species entirely, they are extending their oldest survival instinct to include you. They have decided that where you go is where they want to be. That is not training. That is evolution, bending toward trust. 5. They don't follow everyone. You were chosen. This is the part that matters most. Voluntary following behavior is selective. Behavioral researchers studying human-horse relationships have documented this consistently. It requires history. It requires repeated experience of feeling safe near someone. You cannot produce it in a single session. You cannot purchase it with carrots alone. Your horse follows you because of everything that came before this moment. Every quiet grooming session. Every time you showed up without pressure. Every moment you stayed calm when they were nervous. Every time you gave them space and then came back. They remember all of it. Following you is how they show it. This is where most owners get it wrong. They see the following and think it is about today. It is about everything. 6. What most owners never realize: the head on your shoulder. Remember earlier when I mentioned your horse resting their head on your shoulder or pressing their nose quietly against your chest? This is what I was talking about. When a horse follows you and then stops, not to graze, not because something caught their attention, but simply to stand close and rest against you, they are doing something with no survival logic whatsoever. In the wild, leaning against another animal, closing your eyes near them, resting your weight in their direction, that is maximum vulnerability. That is the posture of an animal who has completely lowered their guard. Your horse does not do that with a fence post. They do not do that with the ground. They do that with you. Here's what most owners never realize. A horse that follows you and then chooses stillness beside you is not waiting for something. They are not hoping you will produce a treat. They have already received what they came for. They came for you, and standing next to you in that moment is enough. That is not an animal tolerating your presence. That is an animal at peace because of it. So the next time your horse falls into step behind you, no lead, no grain, no instruction, remember what is actually happening. They are not following out of habit. They are not following because you were the closest person in the field. They are following because somewhere in the long, quiet conversation between you and them, you became their herd. You became the direction they choose when every direction is open. That is not a training result. That is not coincidence. That is a horse who chose you. Quietly, completely, on their own terms. And that walk across the field, it was never small to them. It shouldn't be small to you either.